All right, what's up, everybody? Let's see if this format is interesting. What I did was I queued up two hands that sort of tilted me and ruined a perfectly good session that I was having tonight. Playing heads up for the last week or so, and things have been going really well. But these were two sort of interesting spots that come up all the time for me, in full ring when I'm mass multi-tabling, or if I was playing 6-max. But in heads up, I assume you're supposed to play them the same way, but I'm not sure. So let me give you these two hands, and you can tell me where I botched it, or if they're just sort of standard plays. All right, the first hand, let's see. I'm dealt ace-4 of clubs, obviously. Okay, the flop comes out 2 clubs. Nice dream flop for me. I'm feeling it. Obviously, there are a ton of draws out there, straight draws and the like, but I like it. I believe he min bets here. I check, he min bets, and then I raise to 450. And at this point, I raised for a couple reasons. One, I wanted to try to get my money in because I flopped the nut flush draw. And two, I really thought that min bet was unusual because that's not really how he had played throughout the match. So I had a suspicion that he would raise me. And as you'll see, he does raise me, and he kind of snap raised me, which, for whatever reason, I just felt like he had the hand here, and I knew he was incredibly strong, and I had to think, do I want to get the money in here? And I just don't know what the proper play is when you're pretty sure they've already got it. Do you still just go ahead and jam? I decided to do that, just go ahead and jam, even though I thought he already had it, whatever it may have been, a set or a straight, obviously. But I don't know if that was the right play. Obviously, I still had outs, but I didn't catch up. So, is that the right play? He shows up with a straight. I'm still alive, though, drawing to a club, and I don't hit. Frankly, I wanted to muck because I didn't want to have to necessarily gamble there. But if it's the right play, then I'm comfortable with it. So we'll see what the masses say there. I know that I've been taught that, like in full ring, when that situation comes up, just get it in. Get in the money as soon as you can. So we did that there. We lost, but if it was the right play, I'm okay with it. Now the next hand is another classic scenario where it happens all the time in full ring for me. When I'm mass multi-tabling, I'm dealt a big pair, and he raises on the button, standard, pots it, and then I bet a little more than pot to re-raise because I'm out of position, and if he's gonna push me on this, I want him to pay. So I raise it to 5, and he calls, and so there's $10 in the pot or so when the flop comes out. Okay. Looks like pretty much a dream flop for me. I'm excited about it. So I do what I've done throughout the match, and I just lead into it. I'm not sure if I bet like $9, $8.50, something like that. And then he immediately min raises me. And in this situation, this had happened a couple times before in our match, and when he had min raised me, I remember one particular hand where I had ace-king, and of course I missed, but I led into it. He min raised me, and I just shoved, thinking he was just min raising me because most people whiff on flops, and most of the time you whiff on the flop. And then of course he timed out and eventually mucked. This time, the exact same scenario plays out. I lead into it. He min raises me, and then I guess I just have to make a decision. I guess I could just call, call his raise and see what happens on a turn, or I could just get it in. And I just decide to get it in, and of course, in the same exact scenario as before, except this time he actually has the 3, and I'm done. I was grasping for a heart there at the end, and even a king would have been nice. So I wasn't drawing completely dead. I'm a little bit more comfortable with this one actually than I am the first hand, because it's very unlikely that ace, that my opponent will have ace 3 in that situation. But of course, tonight he did. So tell me how I played those 2 hands. Is it any different when you're in this scenario heads up versus if you were starting out playing full ring, or is it exactly the same? And if it is different, why is it different? And if it's the same, is this how you would have played it? All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Peace.